Hello and welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. In today's video we are watching another spectacular game by Mikhail Tal. This game was played in 1960 as a part of a chess Olympiad in Leipzig, Germany, and Mikhail Tal played against Miguel Najdorf, who was playing with black. And what is so unique about this game is that Miguel Najdorf actually taunted Mikhail Tal to play one of his crazy sacrifices. He was mentioning that he already beat some of top grandmasters in this tournament and he was ready for Mikhail Tal. And I will actually read you a full quote for Alexander Koblenz's book, who was, by the way, a chess coach of Mikhail Tal. So I quote, "A few hours before the USSR-Argentina match in the finals of the 1960 Olympiad team tournament, Mikhail Tal was eating his lunch and musing about his game with Miguel Najdorf. Tal had drawn with Najdorf in 12 moves with the black pieces in the preliminaries, but this time the Latvian was due to have white. While Tal and his second, Alexander Koblenz, were eating at the Astoria hotel, Najdorf stopped by their table, smiled at the then world chess champion, and dared him to try to be Mikhail Tal that afternoon. 'I'll accept all your sacrifices,' Najdorf said. According to the Koblenz, 'Remember, I fought successfully with Capablanca and Alechin. I will be bound to sacrifice,' Tal replied, and Najdorf said, 'I hope you keep your promise.' And this is how this game happened, and as you always know, Mikhail Tal kept his promise, and we are now gonna watch this game, which is part of history, so please stay tuned, you're gonna love this game. So Mikhail Tal opened the game with e4, we have c5 for Miguel Najdorf, knight f3, and we have d6 for Miguel Najdorf, d4 for Mikhail Tal, we have c takes on d4, knight picks up on d4, and we have knight f6 played for Miguel Najdorf. Tal continues with knight c3, normal developing move, we have e6 for black, and Mikhail Tal continues with bishop e3, and now we are in Sicilian defense, Scheveningen variation. By the way, as you already know, Miguel Najdorf was the creator of Najdorf Sicilian, but this game ended playing up in Scheveningen. We continue with a6 for black, we have f4 for Mikhail Tal, right now immediately striking in the center. We have b5 for black, usual team and usual move in this sort of Sicilians. Mikhail Tal continues with queen f3, a nice and normal developing move in this sort of Sicilians. We have bishop b7 for black, and we have bishop d3 for Mikhail Tal. Mikhail Tal now completes his development. Black continues with knight b2 d7. All of these were pretty much book moves. We have castle for Mikhail Tal, and we have bishop e7 for black. Tal continues now with a3, just with the idea to block this attack on this knight. We have castle for black as well, and we have queen h3 immediately for Mikhail Tal. As you all know, Mikhail Tal was always ready to attack, and one of the ideas is of course pushing this pawn and then opening this really nasty diagonal and preparing a checkmate. Of course, this is not yet possible because this knight is here, but if this knight is removed, this is always a threat. So now we have queen c7, a slight inaccuracy by the computer for Miguel Najdorf. Computer actually recommends playing rook c8 in this position. We have rook a to e1. Computer sees this as an inaccuracy. Computer actually recommends pushing with g4, so not waiting for a second there for Mikhail Tal. Computer sees this attack as the best option for white. We have knight c5 for Miguel Najdorf. Miguel Najdorf wants to eliminate this white squared bishop from the attack, which is a really decent idea. And we have bishop f2 for Mikhail Tal, with the idea to put this bishop on h4 later in the game. Mikhail Tal decided to leave this bishop free for taking, and right now we have one of the first mistakes of the position. So we have d5 by Miguel Najdorf. This is not the best move. Rook f to e8 was the best option. With d5, looks like black is opening the position, but is actually not doing him any favors. You will see now why. So after e takes on d5, we have knight picking up on d3 first for Miguel Najdorf. We have c picks up on d3, and we have bishop picks up on d5 for black. And now we have knight picking up on d5, and we have e picks up on d5. Again, a slight inaccuracy by the computer. Computer sees actually that knight picking up on d5 was the best option here. And although black managed to create some sort of a pressure in the center, this position is slightly loose for black, and you will see now why. White continues with knight f5, a really decent move right now, threatening to take this bishop because it is also attacked by this rook. So we have bishop c5 for black, and we have d4 for Mikhail Tal, a really good move. You don't want to trade your bishops because black pretty much succeeded all that he wanted in this sort of Sicilians. So he exchanged his pieces, he has a nice center, and if all things happen in the game, all exchanges happen, black will have a really decent position and he will be able to draw. Now we have this bishop pulling back, and now we have bishop h4 for Mikhail Tal. Computer sees this as a mistake. It's not a game-changing mistake, but it actually lowers the advantage of white. The best move and best continuation for Mikhail Tal was actually playing queen g3 with the immediate threat of checkmate. Then black would be forced to play g6, and we have queen h4 right now offering this knight, but also Tal is ready to pick up black's knight here. We have queen b6 with the idea to protect this knight. The game would continue with knight e7 check. After king g7 we have f5 with the idea to undermine the structure of the black king. We have knight g8 for black as the only recommended move. After this trade we have knight picking up on d5, and this would be the position that would transpire after this variation. Of course, white is doing better here, and this is the way that computer saw how this game should continue. But after bishop h4, black also misses the best idea here. He should actually play queen b6. Instead of that, he plays a sort of a natural move, looks completely natural, which is a knight e4, simply putting your knight on this really strong square and controlling a lot of squares in the white's position. But Tal kept his promise from the start of the game when Miguel Najdorf taunted him, and he's ready to sacrifice his rook. Rook picks up on e4, Mikhail Tal sacrifices his rook. He was not scared of Miguel Najdorf, he was ready for it, and he kept his promise. So we have d picks up on e4, and now we have another brilliant move, bishop f6 here. Black is forced to play queen b6, just in case you haven't noticed. After bishop f6, if we have g picks up on f6, queen g4 is check, and after king h8, queen g7 is checkmate, so taking this is not an option. After bishop f6, queen b6 was played. We have bishop picking up on g7 for Mikhail Tal. We have rook f to e8 by Miguel Najdorf. After that, we have bishop e5 played for Mikhail Tal, getting ready for this queen to go on g3. Black plays queen g6, and actually this is a slight inaccuracy. This is not a mistake. White is already doing a lot better here, but actually best move was rook a to d8 here. According to the computer, we have knight h6 check, we have king f8, and after f5, Miguel Najdorf decided to resign this game. Of course, I will show you what could have happened if we continue this game. So after f5, one of the ways to continue this game is to play queen c6 for Miguel Najdorf. Then we would have a king h1 for Mikhail Tal, of course removing yourself from this diagonal and this pin. And after this, the best continuation for black is to actually sacrifice his rook in order to try and equalize the game. Of course, the game would not be equal, but you have to protect yourself from checkmates and further material losses and even bigger material losses. So after this, the game would continue with d picking up on e5, and after rook d8, the game would continue with queen h5 for Mikhail Tal, and after queen c4 for Miguel Najdorf attacking this rook, we would have rook e1, and white is doing a lot better here. Computer evaluation is actually almost 6 points for white advantage, so the game is pretty much over. And we will of course go back. I want to show you something else. So after king h1, if you don't decide to sacrifice your rook for this bishop, you can continue the game with rook a to d8. Then Mikhail Tal again has another continuation, brilliant move, bishop g7 check. Right now the best way for you as black is to pick up this bishop, and after f6, the best way to continue this game is to actually sacrifice your queen. And after rook picking up on f6, king picks up on f6, Tal would continue with queen f5 check, king e7, queen picks up on f7 check, king d6, knight f5 check, king c6, and after that Tal would pick up this bishop, and he would be doing almost 5 points better by computer evaluation. So this game again is won by Mikhail Tal. He was a really good player, so there was nothing you can do here as Miguel Najdorf. And this is how this game ended, and this is all I have prepared for you today. If you enjoyed this game, please make sure to leave a comment, like and share this video, as this really helps me a lot. Also, I would like to know your opinions in the comments. Have you maybe heard about this anecdote? Let me know if I missed something in the analysis, and also let me know your suggestions about future games. If you wish to donate to the channel, you can do this through the link in the description of this video. All donations are much appreciated, but they are not obligatory. I will continue making videos, and all of the donators will be listed in every of my new videos, just so you know. And this was all for today's, guys. I really appreciate all of you. We will see each other in the next video. I wish you a pleasant day. Bye bye.